It's a great night for some ACC volleyball this evening. Syracuse welcomes number 3 Pittsburgh to the women's building with a chance to pull a massive upset. Hello and welcome everybody alongside Joey Semmel. I'm John Eads, very happy to be with you this evening. Syracuse and Pittsburgh, two teams, Joey, that sit on different parts of the spectrum as the regular season comes to a close and postseason play is on the horizon. Syracuse finishes up regular season action in 2021 with a doubleheader against Princeton. And tonight, the Orange look for a big non-conference win in the first game against the Tigers. Hello and welcome, everybody. Alongside Cam Azair, I'm John Eads. Very happy to be with you this evening. When you think of Syracuse and Princeton, Cam, on the ice, I think they play each other very often, but they don't. When they have, Princeton has dominated. The month of October has not been kind to both Syracuse and Clemson. The two squads have just 3 wins combined. But today, the struggle ends for one team as the Orange and Tigers square off for the 15th time. Hello and welcome, everybody. Alongside Joey Semmel, I'm John Eads. Glad to be with you this afternoon for a matchup between two teams, Joey, that have struggled recently but are also playing shorthanded. Number 3, Pittsburgh, up 8-3 in set 1. All Panthers thus far. The Orange have 6 total attacks, but 4 errors on those 6 attacks. Big reason why Pitt's up 5. We're back underway in set 1. Markova denied again, but it's kept alive. Tees up another one, and this time it goes. The changeup beats Lexus Akeo, and SU gets its 4th point.
Markova tried to do that a couple points ago. She just went out of bounds, but when you send 3 blockers at her, that's a good way to beat that. You're not going to go through it, so go over it.
So 8-4, Pitt leads in set 1 as Markova serves. Remember, Mene had to put on the brakes. Now here's Shimanova. First swing is a kill. Back-to-back points for the Orange.
And just what the Orange asked for from Polina Shimanova. 1 chance, 1 kill across court.
Looked like that block was late, the help in the middle there as well. So that certainly helps. So 8-5, Pittsburgh leading Syracuse. Good look for Gray in the middle, but the block was there for the Orange. Katarkasi back row, Markova. That one sails out of play.
5 errors already for Syracuse. That hitting percent remains in the negatives for the Orange. That's not a recipe to win. They're lucky they're only down 4.
Yeah. So 9-5 Pittsburgh. Lekator member Mene with the serve for the Panthers, leading the team with 3 kills early on in set 1. Shimanova, she's 2 for 2.
Said it in the intro. As Polina Shimanova goes, the Orange go. So getting her going is going to be huge. And she uses the blockers to her advantage there. Kind of hit down on that. Not much Gray could do.
Slide shot for Gray, and it goes. Pitt takes the 10-6 lead.
So if there wasn't much Gray could do on the last point, she showed you what she could do right there. Good rotation out to the left, and she goes cross court to beat the Orange.
It was interesting. We saw Rachel Fairbanks get the start at setter for Pittsburgh, but now it's Lexus Akeo, who's the typical setter for this team, though they do run a 6-2, so they'll rotate a couple in there. But that was an interesting wrinkle. But Gray misfires on the serve. That's the 2nd service error for Pittsburgh. Lead down to 10-7.
Believe it or not, this is a good sign for the Orange. That hitting percent still in the negatives. They're only down 3 points. So you figure that's going to regress to the mean at least a little bit. So maybe a chance for the Orange to stay in this first set, possibly steal it.
Pitt's kind of keeping him in it with the airs a little bit. First look at Kayla Lund, gets the deflection off Franco, and her first swing results in a point.
We haven't talked about Kayla Lund yet, but she's the first player in the history of the ACC to repeat as Player of the Year. So
that's pretty good.
An embarrassment of riches over there for the Panthers.
Preseason All-ACC pick heading into the season. 3rd time she's earned that honor. 11-7, the Pittsburgh lead in set 1. Fairbanks with the serve. She's back in for Pittsburgh. Free ball opportunity for the Panthers. It's Ende far side, dug out by Katarkasi. Now Shimanova tees one up. She's stuffed. Try it again. Too much.
6 errors already for the Orange.
That block has just been, on the Pittsburgh side of things, it's always been there. It's giving Markova a tough time. It's giving Shimanova a tough time. It's got to make it tough when you're swinging, trying to avoid that block and keep it in.
And with this group on the floor, there aren't a ton of options except for going over to that left side.
Yeah. It works this time. Shimanova goes diagonal and beats the double block.
Shimanova active early, 3 kills already. She's gone down the line a couple times. This time tucks that in.
Just got
on
that
the far
line.
side.
12-8 Pittsburgh leads. Shimanova serving for the Orange. Fairbanks sets for Ende. Nice dig by Hogan, but it hits the hardwood. The Panthers strike back.
Ende was the kill leader coming in, but that's just her first kill.
So 13-8 the Panthers lead. Kayla Lund with the service. Ende again splits the wickets.
She didn't have a ton early, but back-to-back chances here for Ende. This time, block was a little late from Plummer getting over there, and that's a lot to ask of Marina Markova to keep Ende out.
Ende, a 2-time All-ACC first-teamer and was preseason All-ACC along with one coming into the season. But another service error for the Panthers. It's Kayla Lund who sent the serve just a little bit long, so the errors continue to keep SU in it. 14-9 Pitt leads.
You mentioned it, 3. That's a third of the Orange's points so far.
You got to think it's only a matter of time before SU can get something going with the attacks. There's another Pittsburgh error and another point for Syracuse.
See if that service error can give the Orange a little bit of momentum. Hogan, a good person to have. They often go on runs with her at that serving spot.
Fairbanks, give and go for Lecator member Mene. Gets the touch out of bounds. Point for Pittsburgh, they lead 15-10.
Member Mene uses the blockers to her advantage and just glances it off of Franco up front.
She had 9 kills in last Friday's match against Syracuse, hit .444 in that match as well. So highly efficient. So we're not even 3 minutes into the third period, and Princeton is back on the power play for the second time. Just scored their 3rd goal of the contest to even things up on the last special teams opportunity. Let's see if they can take the lead. DiGirolamo and Shelby Kaloff, the defenseman for Syracuse, Abby Malotny and Lauren Belafontaine, the 2 forwards. Kept in by the Tigers. Kuipers near side, saucer pass in front. But Jessica DiGirolamo is there, and she'll chip it down to Princeton's end and get a change.
This is a much-needed line change for the Cuse to get Clemens on the ice, one of the fastest players in the CHA. According to Paul Flanagan, I'll take his word for it.
She does look very fast out there, though, and especially on the penalty kill, great opportunities for potential shorthanded goals. But Syracuse should be thinking about just playing defense right now and killing off this penalty. 1:10 left on the power play for Princeton. Here's Steph Wallace, the most recent goal scorer. Rebound in front, loose puck, and Small covers it up. Princeton's had so many of those chances in front of the net where they've had an opportunity to maybe poke it in, but the Orange avoid a disaster there, Cam.
It's because they get it to the weak side where Syracuse defenders have to almost glide over, and they're on their back heels out of position. And then Frankel a chance in front, and that's why you screen in front of the goaltender. You can get rebound opportunities.
Under a minute on the Princeton power play, and we get a whistle. Looks like a Tigers penalty upcoming for interference. And Maggie Connors is skating over to the sin bin.
The referee walking over with Maggie Connors, and didn't get the best look of that one as Maggie Connors was trying to establish position at the far circle. This is huge for an Orange team that needs to develop some sort of momentum and has been able to do so in this game at the start of power plays.
Just the 2nd penalty of the season for Maggie Connors, so a rare mistake. And we'll have some 4-on-4 hockey for the next 55 seconds, give or take.
And John, it's also a huge mistake because it gives up an opportunity for Princeton to take advantage of a power play of its own. And it's a Tigers team that needs it because they snatched all of the energy out of Kennedy with that goal to open up the third. And right now, Syracuse could easily take it back on this power play.
Seems like all night, special teams has been the spark for Syracuse and in situations like this. So 4-on-4 for 40 seconds, and then Syracuse will be on the power play for about a minute. Anna Lecision and Tatum White, the forwards for the Orange, May Batherson and Shelby Kaloff on the back end. For Princeton, it's Mia Cohen and Annie Keel. She gets the puck near the blue line, but Kate Monahan was offside and will get a face-off in the neutral zone.
And Monahan just skated a bit too far, was hoping that Keel wouldn't try to jump around a defender and get across the blue line and establish that outside part of the zone. Monahan thought Keel would just take it right across the blue line, and that resulted in the offsides.
Sharon Frankel continues her dominance at the faceoff dot. She has 15 wins there, just 6 losses. And wins a big possession for the Tigers, but another turnover as Griffin was offside. So we'll do it again.
A little too antsy for this Tigers team, trying to take advantage of a 4-on-4 opportunity, knowing that it'll very soon be a 4-on-5 against Syracuse, with Syracuse taking the advantage. And that's resulted in a couple of draws for the Tigers and the Orange. And right now, Princeton is taking full advantage. How would the Orange win that one?
It has gone both ways all night. 4 seconds left on the Syracuse penalty. And the Orange have full strength. So Abby Malotny and the Syracuse attack will have a power play for about a minute. Great look there for Belafontaine, who is cutting towards goal, but the pass couldn't get through. And now Shannon Griffin pushes the tempo the other way, but a turnover in the neutral zone, taken away by Malotny.
So now slow things down if you're the Orange. You get the puck behind the net.
It seems like everything's been facilitated behind goal right there, but the Orange will go to the point. DiGirolamo, slap shot off the skate of Cohen. Syracuse sticks with it. Marchand behind goal, and Primo comes to help. And Princeton clears. It's Shannon Griffin sending it down to Allison Small, and the Tigers will get a line change, and Syracuse will get a line change as well.
It's because the Tigers have been able to read what Syracuse wants to do on the power play, and they're showing their smarts in the adjustments they made entering the third period. And there you go, take it away on the power play.
So neither team successful on the power play, back to full strength on both ends. Frankel tried to feed for Connors, who's fresh out of the penalty box, but nobody there. And now the fourth line into the attacking zone for Syracuse with Kuchar, Thompson, and Brousseau. With it is Harvey, up to Calabrese, but a turnover. Bryn Kuchar picks it up, and she takes a spill. There's Steph Wallace, man. She's been spectacular on both ends.
Her physicality is keeping this Tigers defense at least respectable, because this is a team in Syracuse that's known for their physical play, and it's shown so far through about 2.5 periods. Who wins the physicality battle? This will decide the third and ultimately decide the game.
Keep an eye on that. Both teams have struggled with being perhaps a little too over-aggressive, though, which is the reason why we've had a good amount of penalties in this contest. Johnson behind goal. Fed on for Tatum White. She pushes the pace down the near side, passed in front, but to nobody. The Tigers have a counterattack. Piper's on goal, and Small decides to cover it up. And we're happy to be joined by Lauren Belafontaine, the most recent goal scorer for the Syracuse team, as the Orange lead 3-2 at the end of 2 periods. Lauren, your team's having a lot of success on the power play tonight. Why do you think that is?
I think we're getting the puck a lot.
So Lauren, a new goaltender for Princeton in that second period. Did that decision surprise you at all? And is there any kind of a message that Coach Flanagan sends to you and your teammates when that kind of thing happens?
I think we've struggled in the first period for this season.
Coach, thanks for joining me here. I appreciate it. You said tonight could be a trap game against Union. How is your team staying locked in?
Well, obviously, looking at records, we're 2-2, and they're 2-2. Going to throw at us. Let's just be prepared of what we're going to throw at them.
What are you hoping to learn from your team tonight?
Well, we talk a lot about being consistent from within a game, and make good things happen out there, and being consistent with our effort.
What are you looking to see from the special teams units going forward?
Well, I think our power plays have actually in the early going been pretty good so far. And, just looking for consistency throughout.
Thanks, Coach. Back in the women's building where Pittsburgh leads Syracuse 2-0, and the Panthers have an opportunity to close things out here in set 3 and sweep Syracuse for the second time this season. Joey Semmel, John Eads back with you here in the women's building. We're waiting for the Syracuse offense to kind of get going here. SU's kind of been inefficient offensively, whole lot of attack errors as well, and it's been plaguing Syracuse the entire match. Back here in the women's building, John Eads, Joey Semmel with you. 1-1 the score through 2 sets. The Orange took the first one 25-23. Georgia Tech 25-17. Joey, it was just the second set that Syracuse has won in its last 4 matches. What did Georgia Tech do in set number 2 to respond and tie it up? Pittsburgh on top of Syracuse 21-7 with 8:39 to go in the third quarter. Along with Brad Klein, I'm John Eads. It's not looking too good for Syracuse, Brad. The offense goes 3 and out again. You don't really give your defense any time to rest and go to the drawing board and draw some things up. And Kenny Pickett and that prolific offense are back on the field just like that.
And if Pittsburgh scores here, you have to wonder how much Syracuse has left.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it would have been 28 unanswered points for Pittsburgh. And remember, this is the 20th best team in America, according to the AP poll. So it's going to be a tough way to come back against a team like this.
Getting a stop here would go a long way. Pitt's going to start at its own 32-yard line. Pickett takes the snap, swings it out far side to Hammond. He has nowhere to go. Mikel Jones read it all the way, and he made the tackle in the Pittsburgh backfield.
Jones on the tackle for Syracuse.
So you kind of feel like, John, this could be a point where Syracuse needs a turnover. And last year, that defense would get you that turnover.
2nd and 12, Pickett takes the snap at the Pitt 22 and hands off to Hammond. He has no room up the middle. He's thrown backwards by McKinley Williams. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And it brings up a 3rd and long. So 3rd, and we'll call it 12 from the Pittsburgh 25 far side hash. The Panthers deploying a 3-receiver set with a tight end as well. Pickett's in the gun. Rodney Hammond to his left. He takes the snap, dropping back to pass. Roscoe has pressure off the edge. Pickett steps up, throws downfield, and he has a receiver. Catch made over the 40-yard line, and all the way up to the 50 goes Gavin Bartholomew again. Jihad Carter with the tackle, but not before Pitt moves the sticks.
What a disaster. 3rd down and long, and you give up a completion with Pickett on the run. You had pressure, and you couldn't get him. And that's kind of the mastery of Kenny Pickett, because he's not the most mobile quarterback, but he's elusive behind the line of scrimmage.
All the way up to midfield, fresh set of downs for Pitt. Pickett takes the snap. Fakes to Hammond, steps up in the pocket, evades Roscoe again, throws near sideline, caught by Trey Tipton, and he's lassoed out of bounds by Adrian Cole. Pickup of 10, and the officials move the chains.
And Cody Roscoe, when he was sidestepped, he was visibly frustrated, still banging himself on his own helmet, yelling out to the sideline. He knows that he should have had a big sack there, and first month of the season, he probably would have.
1st and 10, ball spotted at the 40-yard line near side hash. Pittsburgh leading Syracuse 21-7. Pickett takes the snap, drops back, pumps, rolls out left, tries to get away from Jones, throws, and it's incomplete, out of play. He was out of the pocket. Jones wants an intentional grounding penalty. There was no receiver in the area, but he was out of the tackle box, so no penalty there. So harmlessly incomplete. The Panthers up by 14 with 6:21 to go in the 3rd. John Eads, Brad Klein with you. 3-receiver set for the Panthers. Pickett in the gun. Takes the snap. Hands off to Hammond, who runs up the middle, gets over the 35, and is still keeping his feet moving at the 33. And is brought down there. Tackle made by Cody Roscoe. Brings up 3rd and 2.
In the first quarter, Syracuse won the trenches. Not so much the rest of the way. That's been the difference.
3rd and 2, middle of the field, 33-yard line. Pickett motions Addison near side to far side. Takes the snap in the gun. Throws to Addison in the far side flat. Evades Deuce Chestnut, and he's running down the sideline all the way inside the Syracuse 15 before he's finally chopped down by Jason Simmons. But a big play on 3rd down. Again, Pittsburgh converts.
It was actually Eric Coley, touchdown-saving tackle, and a great closeout on the sideline because Addison has great breakaway speed, and Coley just figured out a way.
So instead of a touchdown, it is 1st and 10. But Pitt back in the red zone. Ball spotted at the Syracuse 13. Pickett fakes to Hammond. Swings it out again to Addison, this time to the near sideline. Stutter steps by Cole. And AC makes the tackle at the 5.
Adrian Cole on the stop to Syracuse.
So a 2nd and short situation all the way up to the Syracuse 5-yard line near side hash. Pickett trying to get the offense going, keeping the tempo up. Motions Addison near side to far side. Takes the snap, swings it again to Addison for the 3rd time in a row, and he'll walk into the end zone untouched. Touchdown Pittsburgh. It's Pickett's 40th passing touchdown of the season, and it's all Panthers in the 3rd quarter, 27-7 Pitt with 4:45 to go.
Sam Scarton on for the conversion kick.
That's a loud silence in the dome. I think the fans understand. That 6th win is going to be very hard to come by against Pittsburgh today. The Panthers with 28 after this extra point. Unanswered points.
It seemed like Pop Warner football, Brad. Just the same thing over and over again. Little swing passes to Addison, and it eventually results in a touchdown. Scarton's extra point is good. A 9-play, 73-yard scoring drive for Pitt, and they lead by 21. Syracuse needs a response, and they need it fast. We'll see if they get it on the other side of the break. You're listening to Syracuse football on the original home of the Orange, WAER. Marlo Wax is a player Syracuse fans may still not be familiar with, but Wax has been the flame that's lighting the bright spot that is the SU linebacker unit. The 2nd-year freshman has leveled up from role player to impact player in the first half of the season. The Baltimore native ranks 7th in the ACC amongst linebackers with 5.5 tackles for loss. That's as many TFLs as Wax had all of last season. What's crazy is that Wax wasn't even supposed to play linebacker at Syracuse.
When Marlo came in, we recruited him as a running back. And some of the coaches got mad at me when he came in and said he wanted to play defense. The one thing that we've always done here is we always let kids play wherever their heart is. And I said, Marlo, this is the first thing I said to him was, you're going to be allowed to play whatever you want to play. But you're a really good running back. He goes, yes, coach, but I can be a better linebacker.
Wax really couldn't have gone wrong either way. On the one hand, he holds the Mount St. Joseph High School record with over 3,300 career rushing yards. On the other hand, Wax recorded over 110 tackles, 23 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, and 3 interceptions his senior year. If any of those numbers went over your head, just understand this. He's a really good football player. So good that he could have played running back or linebacker at the Division I level. But maybe Wax felt like he had to prove himself correct to Coach Babers. Well, according to Coach, he has.
He has shown that he can make plays. I think he shows that he has shown that he shows up. He's fabulous for us on special teams. He's really holding us together.
So how about that? Wax can play offense, defense, and now special teams. If there's a definition for a football player, I think number 2 in Orange would fit that description to a T. Wax has an excellent opportunity to become a household name tonight against Clemson. John Eads, Citrus TV Sports. Yeah, Louisville dominated for a majority of that second quarter, but that episode near the end really hurt them, and it's a reason why Syracuse is within 5 as we begin the third quarter. 5 on the floor for Louisville. Haley Van Lith, Chelsea Hall, Olivia Cochran, Mikasa Robinson, and Kiana Smith. So interesting. Angster on the bench to start things out, probably with those 3 fouls. For Syracuse, Najee Murray, Alasia Stiles, Christiana Carr, Kristlyn Carr, and Tisha Hyman. Louisville has the first offensive possession of the half, and they're attacking the left hoop. Kiana Smith, quick trigger three, right wing. Oh, it's finger licking good. That's how you start a second half if you're Louisville. An 8-point lead for the Cardinals just 20 seconds in.
Finger looking good. I like it here in the KFC Yum Center.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved it.
So Syracuse down 8. See if they can get a response. Najee Murray controlling the offense. Walks by Olivia Cochran, right wing. Now Crystalline Carr near sideline. 10 on the shot clock. Kicked over to Tisha Hyman. Fed down low for Alasia Stiles in the block, but she traveled. Alasia Stiles had the mismatch there against Haley Van Lith, but couldn't get the shot off. The violation gives it back to Louisville.
That's the first thing I noticed against Van Lith, a much shorter defender, but couldn't complete it.
Oh, Mikasa Robinson's wide open. Floater, too strong. And Najee Murray acrobatically keeps it in play, snares the loose ball, and Syracuse gets it back. You just can't be giving her those looks, though, right? Wide open in the paint.
Wide
there.
open. That was the problem in the first half, and a lot of free buckets.
Christiana Carr straight away. Over to Najee Murray, left wing. Now Crystalline, nearly a steal from Mikasa Robinson, but she takes it away. Wants to pass to Tisha Hyman, but Kiana Smith's having none of that. She hands it off to her, just 4 on the shot clock, gotta go. Tisha Hyman defended by Cochran, drives left elbow, and she couldn't get it off before the shot clock buzzer. Syracuse turnover gives it back to Louisville. Tisha Hyman forgot how much time was on the ticker.
Just took one extra dribble that cost her. She knows she needed it, right? She ends up getting it and bouncing it off the glass, and it went in, but it was just too late.
That's that Louisville defense we all know pretty well. Haley Van Lith straight away, kicked over to Kiana Smith, pull-up jumper, right elbow, in and out. And Alasia Stiles gets the rebound. Another good look for Louisville, but they can't cash in. Najee Murray the other way with pace. Puts on the brakes. Hands off Tisha Hyman, right wing. Drives down the baseline, pull-up jumper, got it. Tisha Hyman picks up right where she left off in the first half. She's up to 5 points in the day. Syracuse within 6.
Hyman needs to continue playing more of that style off the dribble jumpers. And when she hits them, it's hard to stop.
Robinson, right elbow. Kick out far side, 3 on the way, off the front rim, rebound Hyman. That was Kiana Smith with the tray. Alasia Stiles is open, the pass gets to her, but it's swatted out of bounds. Last touch by Louisville, it'll stay with Syracuse on the far side of the floor. You're listening to Syracuse Women's Basketball on the original home of the Orange, WAER 88.3, with the Newhouse School at Syracuse University. Traveling violation against Najee Murray off the inbounds pass. Another Syracuse turnover, and that's what Louisville does so well, Jenna, is force those giveaways.
And it's the same story from the first half. These turnovers are ending up being points on the other end. It's hard to kind of get back in it if you don't have those extra possessions.
That one kind of a self-inflicted wound, though. 12th Syracuse turnover. And now Louisville on offense. Baseline for Cochran. Defended by Christiana Carr, and she gives it back out Kiana Smith. Crystalline Carr with hounding defense. Fed inside for Cochran, out of bounds. Foul called. And it's going to go against Alasia Stiles. She doesn't like the call. It seemed like she got the worst of that encounter with Olivia Cochran. But it's a foul on the floor. And for Stiles, that's her third.
They got tangled up there. Alasia Stiles was hugging, and then there was a wrap around the neck.
Chelsea Hall inbounds pass to Mikasa Robinson. Gets it back to Hall, far wing. Drives against Murray, works against a double team, fouled, shot up. But the violation called on the floor. And it goes against Najee Murray. That's her second. So another baseline inbounds pass, fresh 20 on the shot clock. Kiana Smith, right wing, 3 off the heel. Mikasa Robinson with the offensive board. Quick pass down low, but Cochran couldn't handle it. If she caught it, she would add an easy 2 points, but instead it's out of bounds, and it's Syracuse basketball. Louisville applying the press. Carr gets it into Crystalline Carr. And now the Cardinals back off. The Orange down 6, under 7 to go, third quarter. Along with Jenna Alike, I'm John Eads. Thanks for tuning in tonight as SU looks to pull a massive upset. Tisha Hyman was trying to catch that pass from Crystalline Carr, but swatted out of bounds by Kiana Smith. It'll stay with Syracuse, 16 seconds on the shot clock.
And Emily Ainsler comes back into the game. She has those 3 fouls. You know, there were some fireworks there at the end of the first half. Let's see how she contributes.
Inbounds pass, Tisha Hyman. Christiana Carr wanted it, and she'll get it. Mid-range jumper on the baseline, got it. 2 points for Christiana Carr. She's a mismatch, and she proves why. Syracuse within 4. And a turnover. There's a deflection on the far side of the floor, and it was last touched by the Cardinals, so the ball will go back to Syracuse.
Great hustle play from Christiana Carr. Mid-range jumper on one side, hustling back, creating some pressure on Van Lith, and forces the turnover. And now Syracuse back on offense, only down by a few.
So both teams playing a little sloppy. Crystalline Carr, right wing, 15 on the shot clock. Christiana Carr fakes the 3, drives left alley, kick out Najee Murray in the corner. She beats Van Lith, gets to the rack, floater on the way, off the right rim. Offensive rebound, Styles, but her foot was on the baseline, and it'll go back to Louisville.